Hello and welcome to Breaking Late. I'm your host, Michael, and with me is JD, back from a long break. How are you, mate?
Very well, mate. Very well. Nice and relaxed till from the Christmas break.
Have a good Chrissy?
Yeah, it was nice. We had family up, and I think we had 22 guests at Christmas Day lunch, which was a fair few to feed, but it was good.
Nice break from motorsport, but now the New Year's happened and the floodgates of the news has opened up.
Yes.
Just everything's happening.
Formula One world's gone a bit crazy.
It has.
A few seats moving around, and manufacturers not doing so well and whatnot. And
big news in Formula One.
Yeah, big news. The biggest news, I guess, is
the big guy's
gone. Yeah.
Mr. Formula One himself, Bernie Ecclestone, in his words, was forced out.
Yeah.
The news broke, I think a couple of days ago, Monday, Tuesday night.
Yeah, it would have
Australian time.
Yeah, yep.
I got up early in that morning and saw there was a tweet by one of the Formula One reporters, and he's saying, yep, Bernie Ecclestone's admitted that he's being forced out. Then the BBC picked up that, ran with it. And yeah, sad to see him go. Big change is going to happen. Do you think it'll be good for the sport?
I think it's about time. Yeah, we had some new management in there. Nothing against Bernie. He's steadied the ship.
79.
Yeah, exactly. He's steadied the ship for a long time, kept her on her course. Some of the ideas that they've come through, I'm sure they're not all 100% his fault, but it would be nice to see some new minds in there to come up with some new ideas of how they're going to tackle the big issues. Really, was in the last few years we've seen multiple teams suffer,
collapse.
yeah,
Yeah.
and in turn go bankrupt or need buyouts to get them out of their debt and stuff like that.
Well,
Maybe
the gap
this will fix
between
some
the
of that.
teams that listened to an interview with Martin Brundle, and he's saying the gap between the haves and the have-nots in Formula One is just getting bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's something that they're going to need to look into. It's a touchy subject here, but salary cap, budget cap.
Yeah, Ross Brawn didn't beat around the bush when he come. Well, that's some big news there, right there. Ross Brawn's back in Formula One.
He's basically taken over, isn't he?
Yes, he's the head honcho essentially. Him and Chase Carey, the two main guys. There's I forgot the name of the other fella. He's come from American TV sort of side of it, and he's coming through.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but I did read about it.
Yeah, he's a big head honcho. So the three of those guys are going to be the ones coming up with the big ideas and trying to convince everyone in Formula One to go along with them.
Now, a lot of people are thinking everything's changing now. You do have to remember, all the teams have signed contracts with... Would they sign it with the FOM or...
FOM and FIA.
Yeah,
well.
so they've signed all these contracts till 2020.
Yep.
And that was the big thing, I think, last year or the year before, there was all this talk about the contract talks with getting the teams all on board. Ferrari won't be happy with this.
Well, they were straight off the bat. Yeah, they were straight after Ferrari's money that they inherit every year, essentially, without even getting any places. Then they want to cut that down a bit so that Ferrari has to either win to get their big chunk of the prize money. If they're not doing well, they're not going to get that £100 million that they get every year, regardless.
Yeah, well, they do want to bring the Formula One into a situation where if something happens within the race, they want a lower, like a midfield team or a back team, to actually be able to come through and win.
Yeah.
The current generation of cars is not going to happen. The front teams are that far ahead that, they generally can come in, pit, and still come out ahead of everyone.
Yeah, exactly. It's
they need to do something a bit more like a controlled...
There's no David versus Goliath thing happening anymore in Formula One.
It would be good to see something like we saw in Calypso the start of this year in Formula One. Being able to see a team at the back come through with some luck.
Yeah.
And win it again. But yeah, they've got a big task on their hands to get Formula One to that stage.
Yeah, they said they could probably change some things if they can get all the teams to agree on it without sort of breaking contract sort of thing. But unfortunately, we're going to be pretty well set in stone until 2020.
3 years, not that long really in the big scheme of things.
Yeah, well, reading what Ross Brawn was saying, basically he's got a 5-year plan of where he wants Formula One. He wants it to be better for the race teams. He wants it to be better for the fans and more competitive for, get the whole thing working a lot better. So it's not just 3 teams that are at the front that are going to dominate.
Yeah. Are you worried about the threat of Americanization in Formula One?
A little bit. I've been, especially because they're pushing so hard, but I can understand it. Formula One runs on sponsorship.
Yeah.
And America's probably one of the biggest markets in the world for getting sponsorship through that way. So
I was reading somewhere that they were looking at, one of the ideas floated around was a draft style for the rookie drivers. So you win the GP2 and a couple of the other feeder series.
Yep.
And you're eligible for the lower teams to draft you for the first couple of years or something, where you get
they're trying
an easy way in.
They were trying to basically stop this purchase a drive idea.
Yep.
So what they're doing is they want to make this the draft is where you've got to get your drivers from, and the drivers will not be in the draft unless they're skilled enough to be there.
Yeah,
so it's really trying to narrow that down to getting quality drivers on the grid, and working them up through the smaller teams to get into the bigger teams. I think it's a really good thing.
I think it should. It is a good idea. I don't want that to be the only place you can pull your drivers from, though. I still think, you get the likes of Kimi Räikkönen. He come to Formula One through the most unorthodox way. You look at some of the drivers. Webber didn't come through the most orthodox way. A lot of drivers. It's all changed now with the rules, with Max coming through, and
they've
changed with
stomped
the super
on that
license.
pretty. Yeah, exactly.
I did like the way where you had some other drivers just come out of the blue into it, but I still very much, and I love the idea of a draft for the younger drivers to get on.
It's a bit exciting, I think. I like the idea. Yeah, it's obviously we'll have to see how well it works, but I like the idea.
But really, at the moment, it's all speculation. No one knows anything. It's all talk.
Yeah, exactly.
Other big news, Formula One. Everyone knows Rosberg's retired. We spoke about that last episode, but we now know who's taken over.
Yeah, Valtteri
Bottas.
So
surprised?
Not at all.
No. I did actually remember sending you a message when Rosberg retired going, so will Bottas go to Williams? And I think I said Pascal or someone to replace him. But Massa.
Yeah,
shortest
Massa's
retirement. That was quick. Does he have to hand back his car?
No, I actually read a thing this week. He got an interview and they're like, so you're giving the car back? And he's like, that car has my name on the side of it. I'm not giving it back.
I hope all the cars have his name on the side of it that he gets in.
I think it has. They put the livery back on it.
They put the Massa livery back on.
Yeah. So when they gave it to him, so he's
use
keeping
it anyway.
Yeah, it wouldn't be spec for this year anyway. But
how do
not
you feel
surprised.
About that?
I don't agree with it. I understand why they did it.
It's the sponsors that forced that.
Yeah, but the sponsors forced for an older driver. They didn't want Pascal there. That's fine. But there was other options out there. But
yeah, but I think at that stage, once they were going, all right, we've lost Bottas, we need to get a driver in. Yeah, they're really going to start poaching other drivers elsewhere.
Or they know he works well with the team and stuff like that. That's why I understand it. But there's younger drivers that probably could have filled the seat.
Yeah, I think they did want the stability there with Lance Stroll coming in.
Yeah.
They want someone that they know they can go to and be like,
go
out there and...
Yeah, all I was thinking is someone like Paul di Resta or something like that.
Oh, bring him back.
Yeah, bring back someone or get someone from DTM or something like that. Massa just, he's there and thereabouts, but he's pretty much gets beaten every year now. Has for the last decade nearly. I'm not saying he's slow,
deal, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's only he's filling the gap, and it was quite nice because Massa come out basically and said, "Look, I wasn't ready to leave Formula One. I had to leave because my sponsors weren't going to be there for me. And when Claire called me and said I've got a deal for you, she made it good enough that I couldn't refuse. So I'm happy to be back. I'm committed. I'm going to give it 110% again.
Oh, that's all you need to ask for. As long as he's still got the passion to race.
Yeah. So
we'll see what they go. I mean, Williams, they're going to be a bit of a dark horse this year. They've got a massive cash injection.
Yep, and they also got one of the best engineers.
In the
game.
Lowe's now there. He's he left Mercedes.
Yeah.
not long after Bottas signed with Mercedes.
Yeah, and I heard rumours late last year that he was already in chats and he hadn't re-signed with Mercedes, and everyone sort of knew where he was going, but they didn't make an announcement until quite late in the game, really, where he was heading. So,
was doing some reading up on Paddy. Very successful.
Yeah,
success follows him nearly everywhere he goes.
Yeah, where he goes, he's a winner. He's
pretty much like, I think when he
not
goes
quite like Adrian
a couple of years
Newey, but
later, they win championships and stuff. So, fingers crossed for Williams. It'd be great to see Williams back and winning races again and win a championship.
Agreed.
Who knows?
Agreed. So hopefully he can bring some of that winning mentality that he has at Mercedes over to Williams. They sort of need it. They've lost their way a bit in the last couple of years, so it'll be nice to see him dominant again.
And Pascal's got a drive for next year.
Yeah, Pascal kind of got forced into finding a new seat because his seat's pretty much become...
Manners went into receivership.
Yeah.
Still no word on that. There's every now and then there's some rumours going, they're saved.
Yeah.
I was reading somewhere people are screaming out for Alfa Romeo. Come on, Alfa, just buy the Manor. And then people are posting up liveries. There's no credibility to that. I think it's every time a team comes up for sale, there's always a small group of Italian fans that want Alfa Romeo back in Formula One.
Yeah.
But hey, they've got some real creative people behind there. Those people, they put up some good liveries. If I find some, I'll link them in the show notes. Would be nice.
Anything's possible, I guess. The manufacturers seem to be getting drawn back to F1. With Renault coming back. Mercedes, obviously, nearly probably 8 years or something since they come back. But they are coming back to F1, and it'd be nice to have some of that heritage back in the sport.
Yeah, well, I was actually watching the end of the 2011 Canadian Grand Prix this morning. Just, as you do. The longest race, 4 hours, 4 minutes, and 30-odd seconds for Jenson Button to win that. But it was good seeing all the teams that have fallen out of Formula One by the end of it, like
Minardi and all of those. Yeah,
not so much Minardi. You had like the HRT.
Jaguar would have been still in it in 2011, were they?
No, Jags, Red Bull, Sebastian Vettel.
Oh yeah, that's not that long ago.
No, 2011. It's not that long ago, but it was just you do have I can't even remember what the teams were now, but you did have the back markers that have fallen out, and I remember them, like Kobayashi was driving, and it was Caterham. They're the team that I really saw. I was like, I remember them.
That's actually, now you mentioned Kobayashi, he put his hand up for the Mercedes seat.
Yeah, I did see that.
Not likely. Sorry, mate.
Kobe, mate. What have you done lately?
Yeah.
He's done a bit. Jenson Button's a driver that's been doing a bit since he's left Formula One.
Yeah.
He's been out driving Hondas everywhere.
Yep, he's signed up, I think, for this year's Rallycross Championship as well.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see.
World Rallycross Championship, so that's going to be awesome. I think it's really good for him to get out there and have fun again. He's going to enjoy it.
I think he needs to, because he still wants to race. He just
he's still
doesn't
keen.
have the full passion with it. There's not too much more on the Formula One that apart from random speculation.
Yeah,
there's a few more teams they're going to release, or they're all going to release their cars second, third week of February, I think, just in time for testing.
We're coming up to testing. There's, one thing you commented on was Red Bull's made it very clear that Mobil's now sponsoring them and not Total.
Yes, they did post up a video the other week of what the drivers do during the off-season, and the first thing I noticed on that was, wow, Mobil's everywhere. Doesn't look too bad.
It will be an interesting thing to watch, actually, because Total was the fuel supplier and oil supplier for Renault and also for the Red Bull team. So it'll be different. They're going to have a different fuel and oil package to the Renault team now. Moving on into V8s, mate.
Yes.
What sort of news you got there for us?
We got a bit of news, actually. We'll start off with 888 have released the Commodores.
Yep.
The photos came out. Thoughts on the new RB-HRT cars?
I like it.
Yep.
Yeah. It looks good. It's not the most exciting livery out there in the stratosphere, but it's pretty good.
It's clean. It's nice. It looks good. I like it because it ties in from the Formula One car with the matte finish. And it reminds me very much of when we had Team Vodafone in the Formula 1 and Team Vodafone in the V8 Supercars, and they did that swap. Or they did the 3 cars to test the speed at the Australian Grand Prix, and it just looks really good. And I hope Red Bull looks like the Commodores, and the Commodores look like the Formula 1s, and we can do something else like that, because I just think that's really good for the brand recognition, and I don't think it legitimizes V8 Supercars, but it kind of looks like, oh, look, you've got the same sponsors in there. It always looks good when you've got sponsors in multiple categories.
I agree. I think it looks better from a worldwide perspective as well. People will look at it and they'll notice it and attach it sort of to the F1 team, which obviously is the more watched category. I think it's good. Yeah.
No, V8 Supercars is not as high as Formula 1. So the name, RBHRT. Too many letters now?
I'm fine with it. I feel that you might not be, but...
No, I'm not. I just keep trying to do it. I mean, like, I still just think, like, because even RBRA, Black's backstory, if any of you guys paid attention, if any of you guys seen that Triple Eight had massive sales on all their old 2016 gear recently.
Most of the teams
did. My old man went a bit crazy and bought a few things.
Just a couple.
Many stubby callers. Stubby callers marked down from $15 to $3.60. Stubby callers that they didn't have released in Darwin. Like, they didn't have them released when they came to Darwin. So we're getting these, as far as we're aware, brand new stubby callers. Yeah. At this discounted rate. Old man picked up me a basketball singlet, which is really good. $15. Normally $50. I know I'm doing a bit of a plug for a sale that's finished, but mate,
jump over their website. And it's done.
It's done. Yeah, don't go. If you do go to their website, they've got all their new gear. We had a look at the new Red Bull gear. I'm not a huge fan of their clothing line.
No, the Caltex and the Red Bull stuff. It's alright.
I'm gonna buy it, but I'm not gonna enjoy it.
Speaking about Caltex, but geez, that car of Craig Lowndes, I think that's one of the best looking cars they've put out for a while.
It's definitely the nicest car being released in the 2017 season.
Yeah, so
out of all 3 of them.
Yeah,
2 of them are the same.
Yep. Not many cars have been released yet.
Walkinshaws gets released on Monday. Now, we're actually recording this on the Thursday 26th, Australia Day. Happy Australia Day to everyone out there.
Yep.
So Walkinshaw releases their car on Monday. I'll post everything like that to the Facebook page when that comes out.
Yeah. It'll be really... That's probably one of the ones I'm waiting for the most. We don't
know who their sponsors are. That's the thing. We don't know what their team's going to be called.
Yeah. Well, we've got a good idea. It'll be Walkinshaw Racing, no doubt. But
yeah, but
we'll see if there's
no
major
need on that. You know, someone else, another team another title sponsor could jump on board, and all of a sudden, you know.
Oh, I agree, but I don't think there has been. I think we would have heard an announcement as such. It will be interesting to see. I want to see what they've got to do something. They've got to try and drag all the HRT supporters, well, not drag them, but keep them.
Yes.
And bring them over to the Walkinshaw side of it now. I don't think it would be too hard for them because I think a lot of people will stay with the team. I don't think people are just going to jump ship because of the name.
Yeah.
Some people will, but not a lot of them.
No, and I think a lot of the Holden, HRT supporters that have already jumped onto the Triple Eight bandwagon have already done it. The ones that are going to jump ship have already done it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's going to hurt them too much fan-wise.
No.
It's a bit of a kick in the pants, but realistically, it's a contract where they get the money to win.
Yep.
They've not been winning.
This is what everyone's like, oh, what happened? It's like they got fired by Holden.
Yeah, they weren't even placing majority of the time, and that's what they needed to be doing, and they haven't been doing it, and therefore they've lost their contract. So that's what happens. It's a harsh world out there in racing land, but we're talking millions and millions and millions of dollars a year.
Yep.
They're going to spend it in the right places.
Walkinshaw driver that's gone, Garth Tander.
Yep.
Is GRM now. That broke just after we released our last episode.
Yeah.
We all knew it was happening, but it's good. Tander actually delivered GRM's best results in 2000. Second in the championship is the best they've done. It gave them their Bathurst win.
Yeah.
Gary's pretty adamant that he didn't sign Garth just because of the nostalgia and I think how did he describe it? The romantic return is how he described it.
Yeah.
He's like, no, on his merits. Like, he's hoping that choosing Garth Tander over a younger driver is the right decision. And I think Garth showed at the end of the year he can drive still.
Yeah, I think he's being honest there too. He probably would have got, no offense to Garth here, but he would have got Garth headlining driver for a pretty discounted rate.
Oh, yeah,
There's no
rate.
seats. Really, his is the only seat that was a competitive seat left.
Yep.
And Garth was going to be silly. Well, I think Garth was a bit like Jason Bright. They were trying to sign deals to have his own team. When that fell through...
Yeah, he needed somewhere to go.
He had to go there. And he sort of had him bent over a barrel. And, yeah, he's probably got him for a really good price. And it's probably a really good deal for him.
Well, another big thing that's happened at GRM that we haven't touched on yet is Commodores.
Yep.
Volvo, nah, we're not doing them anymore.
The talks went through with Volvo and they were still sticking the mud and wouldn't even let them use the cars from last year, this year. So
those Dunlop Development Series cars that he was building?
Yeah, we called it back then, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Still, yep, the two Development Series, brand new Commodore Development Series cars that they were building, well, guess what? They're not Development Series cars. They're actually V8 supercars. So it'll be interesting to see what they look like. We were discussing it a little bit earlier. Are they going to go the retro?
Are they going to go back to the old, especially because all the
Valvoline
photos that V8 supercars have released of Gary and Garth has been standing in front of obviously the Bathurst 1000 victory car, which is the iconic Valvoline white, Tander and Bargwanna.
Yeah.
I liked Tander and Bargwanna as a pairing. They were the short and tall of it.
They were. The stumpy and lanky.
You wouldn't team those two drivers up anymore. Because you try and match the similar heights or at least, with the inserts and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Tander, very tall and slim. Bargwanna, very short and
plump.
Round. Yeah, plump. Very plump.
Let's not go round. That's a harsh. He was plump. He was
plump.
Just
pear-shaped.
Yeah, no, it was a bit unusual back then. I guess they probably still had sliding rails under their seats and stuff
probably.
Like
yeah.
that.
Just how do you move your seat forward? Well, you just lift up the little thing, slide it.
It's not cutting down weight like they do these days.
I still like those old cars, but things have changed. Lucas Dumbrell Motorsport still haven't announced really anything. They haven't said anything about their drivers. They are one of the few teams that have actually updated their website in 2017 to say on the 11th of January they announced, watch this space. We're going to have more announcements soon. At least they kept us updated. I am going through. I will check. I check the websites quite regularly, and if anything happens, I will post it to the Facebook page for you guys to find out. It's always good knowing.
Realistically, I don't think V8s is doing as much as they could be online.
No.
It's very piss poor, to be honest. Looking at the teams and stuff like that, there's only a couple, and you can see the ones that do it right are obviously like Red Bull and stuff like that. And there's a reason they've got the best sponsors and stuff like that. It's because they're getting out there. This is all marketable stuff, so they have to be in your face all the time, trying to get people to buy gear or just see the brand names.
V8 Supercars is really bad with their. Okay, I'm going to say online presence. I don't know what they do on Facebook. That's the thing, because I don't use Facebook.
So their Facebook essentially is just like what you see on their website. So it's pretty piss poor.
Yeah, they used to upload videos to YouTube, and then now they don't. They'll do a bulk upload once a year or a couple of times a year. You'll see they've uploaded 15 videos all at once, and that's the past 3 or 4 months. And then they'll wait 3 months, and then boom, all of these videos uploaded again. And that's a few race teams are like that too. I don't know. I think this online presence needs
F1's going to pick the game up in general as well.
With the new owners.
Yeah, and they've already clarified that's going to be something that's going to come through really quickly.
And Chase Carey wants to try and work out more online streaming for them.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I already purchased the Superview pass.
Yep.
And I would love it if I could purchase a media pass straight from Formula One, bypassing Foxtel's high prices and stuff like that.
So that's exciting, but V8s need to follow suit. They need to do more. Well, the teams need to do more. There's only a couple teams doing a really good job. The rest of the teams are sort of dropping the ball a little bit. I understand it. Red Bull probably spend a lot of money on people that are in marketing and stuff like that, but that's why they get the big sponsors.
Yep. So, a team that I have not heard boo from is ProDrive. I haven't heard.
It's strange,
I don't think their
isn't it?
website's updated since Sydney.
It is very strange. Winterbottom's been putting a little bit of stuff up on Facebook here and there. He's actually quite good. He's probably one of the better drivers. Him and Scotty McLaughlin. Scotty Pye puts up a little bit. But in general, from the actual team, there's not much out there.
Yeah, that's why we're around.
It is.
We post up the news.
And we do. When we sift through it all to tell you what's going on.
Yes, that's why you guys come to us. No, you come to us because you enjoy motorsport, I think. I hope. You come to us because you love listening to us.
Yeah.
I want to touch on the new Super Utes. Those cars are coming along.
Yeah.
And manufacturers jumped on board.
Yeah, Mitsubishi signed up.
Tritons.
Yep, that's the first actual proper signing for the new category.
Yeah,
so it's exciting stuff.
I'm actually looking forward to that. I think it's really good. I was quite surprised that it wasn't Holden or Ford that jumped on. I didn't expect Ford to jump on, but I thought maybe Holden would be like, yeah, right, there's our Colorado, go use that.
Yeah, I would think the Ute category is a very competitive category. I don't mean as in the racing category, I mean in sales. In Australia. So it's a bit strange that the other manufacturers aren't already on top of this.
It's still very early. The
Triton was the first one to jump on, and they've built the prototype with the Triton.
Yes.
Or they're in their process.
Prototypes and stuff, that all the images that have come out of the prototypes are of Tritons. I wonder what other... do you think it's going to be like your Rangers and your Colorados?
Yeah, I think we could have a four-way fight for it. I think we could have Hilux, Rangers, and Colorados out there. I don't know about Mazda. I don't think BT50s will be out there, but they look very similar.
They're basically a Ranger anyway.
Yeah, well, they are. They're just faces are different and guards and stuff are different. So
something that I said to you when you first rocked up here this afternoon was, how about the new Mercedes X-Class utility?
Yeah, that might be a long shot, but
maybe a long shot. Erebus could get into the Utes, maybe.
Yep. Yeah, we did discuss it. I think that would be really interesting.
I don't know if you guys have seen it. I will link it in the show notes. But yeah, the X-Class, I think it's basically just a Ute.
It's like a SUV sports.
Yeah, it looks like a Hilux Ranger style.
Yep.
God knows how expensive it's going to be. It comes 22-inch alloys and, all the good off-roading stuff.
It looks flash.
It's definitely the car you're going to buy to go tow the boat out to the Daly River, that's for sure.
Yep.
No, but I'm excited to see this Ute series. They don't debut until Townsville.
I wonder if Amarok will come along, Volkswagen. They're another one that's trying to compete in the market.
No,
anyway, that's going to be an interesting category.
Well, if any news comes from that, we will
keep updated. So Matt White's come out and made an announcement. This is actually, I think, just before Christmas.
Yeah, it was.
That he's going to be running a couple of Nissans this year. He's purchased a couple of Todd Kelly and Rick Kelly's old car.
That's good for the Nissans too. Just like get rid of their old chassis, I guess. Make a bit of money off the older cars.
Yeah, exactly. They've got a lot of spares now, the Nissans. They've been running them for a fair few years now. So there's a lot of spares, and they can give a lot of support to development series cars. So it'll be really interesting to see how they go. Obviously, the development series has old gen cars and car of the futures or new, current gen cars in the field together. There is a bit of disparity between the two.
Yep.
So the older gen car is a bit slower than the new gen car. So Matt actually at the moment runs.
He runs Falcons.
Yeah, and they're the old spec. So they're the old spec FPR cars.
He hasn't announced his driver lineup yet.
I think it's going to stay fairly similar to how it was last year. So I think Bryce has signed back on. I don't know about Shea whether he's coming back or not.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll keep you updated once we know a bit more.
If any official news comes out, we'll get onto it.
There's a few new cars coming into the field too. So Todd, what's Todd's last name?
Hazelwood?
Again? Hazelwood, yes, sorry. Todd Hazelwood's actually got Craig Lowndes' car from last year, the Caltex car.
Yes.
So that's a big move up for him. His car has now gone to Adam Margarin as well, so he's stepping up into a current gen car from an old generation car, so that will really help his endeavours in the development series as well.
And, well, we all know that 2018 we're going Gen 3 of the cars, or Gen 2 car of the future? Gen 2 or 3, either way, the new one. So,
Gen 2.
The development series is going to be flooded with cars next year.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see because there's a lot of question marks on what the development series will be doing when the main game move forward, how many years they're going to be running Car of the Futures in the development series for.
Yeah, well, I'm still quite surprised that they're still running the older cars with the new Car of the Futures.
It's because people are scared to invest because they don't know. So Car of the Future, even for a second-hand one, they're paying sort of 400 to 500 grand for a good spec car.
Yep.
People are worried to invest that money if 2 years' time they go, well, we're not going to run these anymore. We want you to purchase the second generation. Yeah. And all of a sudden people have all these money invested in cars that are no longer
Then you go on V8 Sleuth and pick up yourself a race car for pretty cheap.
Yeah, well, it could happen. The market surely will start to get flooded soon now that we're in sort of a few years into Car of the Future. Everyone who was limping old chassis that were sort of built the first year and then they've been sold on to other teams, like the smaller teams and stuff like that, will probably be moving them on and getting sort of last year's cars and stuff like that as Triple Eight update their cars and HRT build new cars for this year, and all the teams are sort of in that period now where they're building their new cars. So there will be quite a few chassis, I assume, that will come on the market sort of next year.
So if you're looking for a chassis, hold out to next year, I reckon.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
You want a race car?
There'll probably be more certainty next year as well on what the development series is doing.
Hopefully, the Supercar Commission can get together and be like, this is what you're doing, because you do $400,000, $500,000 is nothing to stuff your nose at. It's a big investment for a lot of these teams that generally, the development teams, is generally struggling just to get to a race meet.
Yeah.
They can't afford to go out, buy all this brand new machinery and then go, oh, that's gone. You have to use the new ones.
Yep. The Kostecki boys apparently have now joined on, I think.
Yeah, I heard, both of the Kosteckis.
Matt Stone Racing, I think, is now managing their team for them, sort of thing. Because the Kostecki's parents must be super duper rich. When they got into development series, they brought 2 Triple Eight chassis, current model Triple Eight chassis. They brought a transporter. They built a workshop, I think, as well to maintain them. Like, they outlaid some dollars. So they're now matched up with Matt Stone, so that'll probably help them with an engineering perspective.
Yeah,
because that'll really help steer the ship forwards from there.
Well, we don't have much more.
No, there's
a very short episode. We haven't actually touched on Bathurst 12 hours next weekend, so I'm pretty sure we'll do an episode next week after the Bathurst 12 hour.
Yeah,
definitely something to watch. I don't know how you can watch it. It's on 7 Mate, I believe.
Yeah,
and I think there'll be a live stream.
We'll update our Facebook page once we work out if there's a live stream that we can direct you towards. We'll put up a link for you.
If there is a live stream on the day, I'll post it up onto our Facebook page. You can go to it. It'll be great.
Yep. Can't wait for it, to be honest. This is going to be the best 12-hour that we've seen.
I know. I'm so excited. We got to have a barbecue and we'll watch it.
The spec of the cars, the drivers, and we've got some old, it's going to be awesome seeing
Russell Ingall and Mark Scaife
back
together.
in a car. That's the one. I know this is funny, like a bit sad and that, but I'm really excited to see those two out there racing again.
I'm excited to see them pair up.
Yeah.
I reckon they were in a team
spat. I think the broadcasting has been a really good team bonding skills for them. I know they still disagree a lot, but
I don't know how much of that's like on camera.
No, I think it's a bit tongue in cheek. I think it's legitimate, but
yeah,
it'll be interesting.
Enough years has passed. Like, Ingall's not trying to run over Scaife anymore.
It is true, and he's
only
it's not
once.
pit maneuvering him either. So it'll be interesting to see. But other than that, I think that's about all I've got.
Yeah. Hope you guys had a great Christmas. Don't forget to check out our Facebook page, We're Breaking Late. Well, you can go to our website, we'rebreakinglate.com, or the facebook.com/breaking late. You guys are awesome. Your engagement that you've been doing on our Facebook page and just with our whole podcast in general is.
Yeah, it's nice to have the support out there.
It's really good. We are going to try and get some interviews this year.
Yeah,
that's our little secret.
Yep.
We set ourselves some goals for this season, and we really hope to hit them and stride past them.
Yep. Speaking of that, actually, is if anyone out there is looking for some sponsorship opportunities, go hit up Bryce Forward Racing and also Thomas Maxwell Racing.
Link them in the show notes, and I'll put them into
very good
up and
coming drivers that you'll get pretty good bang for buck from. So
they will be. They're good. We've even looked at the territory pack for Bryce.
Yeah. Quite affordable, but yeah, get out there and check it out.
But anyway, thanks you guys for tuning in. We'll be back again shortly after the 12 hour.
Yeah, short break to the next episode. Catch you later.
Bye.